The title of my paper is Religious Education in Laudato Si, towards an integration of ecological education in the curriculum of a Catholic tertiary school in the Philippines. Introduction. Pope Francis published his second encyclical Laudato Si on the 18th of June 2015. In it, he critiques unbridled consumerism and inauthentic human and economic development. He laments environmental destruction and global warming and calls everyone to take swift and unified global action. In the encyclical, he speaks of ecological education, which is basically an education that promotes care for the environment. Good education, according to him, plants seeds when we are young, and these continue to bear fruit throughout life. We have seen for ourselves that with technological advancements and innovations brought about by globalization, there are problems with pollution and degradation, and even the depletion of our natural and human resources. We and many others are reaping the seeds of our abuse and misuse of these God-given gifts and resources. In the light of Pope John Paul II's Apostolic Constitution on Catholic Universities, Ex Corde Ecclesiae, the Catholic tertiary educational institutions are called in a particular way to respond to this call, to guarantee that the new discoveries be used for the authentic good of individuals and of human society as a whole, which includes the Christian inspiration to include the moral, spiritual, and religious dimensions in its research, and to evaluate the attainments of science and technology in the perspective of the totality of the human person. This study is composed of the following sections: on Laudato Si and ecological education, history and educational philosophy of De La Salle College of St. Benilde, research problems, methodology of the study, results and discussions, and conclusion. On Laudato Si and ecological education, Pope Francis speaks of ecological education as an education that promotes the environment. He says in paragraph 213, "Good education plants seeds when you are young, and these continue to bear fruit throughout life." He stresses the great importance of the family, which is the place in which life is seen as a gift from God. The family is to be welcomed and protected against the many attacks to which it is exposed, and can develop in accordance with what constitutes authentic human growth. In the face of the so-called culture of death, the family is the heart of the culture of life. By extension, the school and the academic community is seen as a student's second family, where one is also nourished and formed. Ecological education should be instilled in both young and old, for it leads to a profound reality. The relationship between human life and the moral law, which is inscribed in our nature and is necessary for the creation of a more dignified environment. In the same vein, Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI spoke of an ecology of man, based on the fact that man too has a nature that he must respect and that he cannot manipulate at will. It is enough to recognize that our body itself establishes us in a direct relationship with the environment and with other living beings. The acceptance of our bodies as God's gift is vital for welcoming and accepting the entire world as a gift from the Father and our common home. The main theme of Laudato Si is on stewardship. Though the encyclical touched upon other major themes or principles of Catholic social thought, like human dignity, human rights, solidarity, and subsidiarity, among others, we can see that there is both old and new reiterations in this document, since in a great way it is a further explication of Catholic social thought, but with a modern twist, albeit a very scientific and ecological one. On the De La Salle College of St. Benilde. The De La Salle College of St. Benilde, or Benilde, started as a college for career development of De La Salle University, Manila, in 1980. It was renamed the Community College in 1984 and became known as the College of St. Benilde in 1988. Benilde recognizes the uniqueness and multidimensionality of human intelligence. As such, it offers distinctly relevant and innovative degree and non-degree programs designed for the development of professionals in the arts, design, management, service industries, computer applications, in business and other special fields of study. By stressing excellence in educational innovation and Christian value formation, and upholding the value of individual talents and personal learning styles, the college fleshes out the concept of the multiversity that complements the trust of the other units in the De La Salle system. Binil is one of the district schools that comprise De La Salle, Philippines. Binil is guided by De La Sallean values of spirit of faith, zeal for service, and communion and mission. It envisions graduates who are imbued with the Binilan expression of the La Sallean core values of being God-centered, with integrity, socially responsible, creative and innovative, professionally excellent, appreciative of individual worth, and one with the plight of the poor. Binil believes that the learning environment is founded on the belief that each student is unique and endowed by God with talents and gifts that should be understood, appreciated, and nurtured. Binil believes that awareness of environmental concerns, service to the community, and concern for the common good are integral parts of education. The college also believes that honesty, integrity, and meritocracy are components of personal strength that are necessary for success. Education is a collaborative effort among teachers, administration, support staff, students, alumni, parents, and external publics. Therefore, all efforts are exerted to foster a learning community that is conducive to the cooperation and coordination of relevant activities. Guided by this philosophy, Binil envisions students who shall achieve their full potential by developing and maintaining their love for continuing personal and professional development, to become responsible and competent resources for the church and nation, for the society and the global community. The research problems. The following are the research problems of this study. What are the major themes of the Laudato Si that can be seen or present in the courses of the theology and philosophy area? And what are the problems, themes, or inspiration from the lessons in Laudato Si that can further be incorporated or expounded in the new general education curriculum handled by the theology and philosophy area? The methodology of the study. The method that was employed for this study was not just expository in nature, with key elements that will be culled directly from the primary text and compendium of the social doctrine of the Church, and other commentaries and reflections from the encyclical that will contribute to a better pedagogical rendering of the call and challenge to ecological education through religious education, leading to living out one's calling to ecological citizenship, but also a reflective practical way of putting into action this inspiration from the encyclical. The framework that will be used for this project will be along the lines of doing theology. The See Discern Act process of social analysis according to the guidelines of the Catholic social teachings. The See Discern Act, which is cyclical and yet developmental in nature, will be innovative ways of seeing things that will be proposed as viable paradigm for the holistic pedagogical approach in ecological education. The findings and discussions. I have been with the De La Salle College of St. Benilde for 11 years, teaching both theology and philosophy subjects like Bible study, dynamics of religion and contemporary search for the self, Catholicism in the modern world, management logic, philosophy of man, business ethics and religious belief, faith, and moral life, all in the old curriculum. I was also fortunate to be able to teach the new subjects under the general education curriculum, like critical and creative thinking, institutional ethics, Bible and the church, religious experience and spirituality, and marriage and family life. The following are the 5 foremost themes from Laudato Si that can be seen in the old general curriculum of the theology and philosophy area, that can also be adopted and further enhanced in the new general educational curriculum of the theology philosophy area. Number 1. creation, the care of the environment, and integral ecology. There are a lot of things that can be gleaned and learned from the Church's doctrine on creation, since it is one of the central themes in the deposit of faith. Definitely, one of the major themes is that human beings have been given the responsibility of stewardship. Destroy creation, and creation will destroy you, says Pope Francis. It's a powerful reminder of how everything is interconnected. There should be a holistic way of seeing this advocacy and stewardship. There is a loving awareness that we are not disconnected from the rest of creatures, but join in a splendid universal communion. Today, even if most of us had to be indoors within our homes, we feel all the more united with the other people in other parts of the world, people we may not even personally know. And yet because of our common humanity, a common dream and aspiration, that is the defeat of our common and yet elusive enemy, COVID-19. Number 2, importance of rest, contemplation and silence. Another significant theme is that of biblical rest. It is the resting that human beings can take part in the creative and even wondrous work of the Creator. Moreover, rest, contemplation, and silence is not just a mundane act typical to human beings. It is also the environment who serves as the main beneficiary if humans acknowledge rest in a more religious way. Today, we have seen that because of the lockdown and the enhanced community quarantine in many parts of the world, we have seen that the environment has been given some space to rest. In many ways, we have seen how we can rethink how we do things and probably how we can make choices for the benefit of the environment. According to Rafael Fernando, for millions of years, the environment has been service to the rest of the creatures. And to give a chance for this great gift to rest is what the environment truly deserves in return. Third, humanism and the human person. Humanism is simply defined as to put forward the promotion of the human person, which is indeed good as long as it is kept in check and of the well-balanced type. But it has to be integral and solidary, meaning that the humanism at the extremes can be very dangerous. We have to consider the whole human person, body, soul, mind, heart, and that there should be no dualism. Secondly, it is very much in solidarity with the whole human family. It is against individualism that is contrary to the spirit of global citizenship. Fourth, call to simplicity of lifestyle. Mahatma Gandhi once said, "To live simply so that others may simply live speaks of the noble call to simplicity of lifestyle." Pope Francis says that humanity is called to recognize the need for changes in one's lifestyle, production and consumption, in order to combat global warming or at least the human causes which produce or aggravate it. Contrary to a simple lifestyle is this so-called throwaway culture, which sees everything as mere trash to be discarded rather than that which can be reused, reduced, and recycled. Throwaway culture which affects those who are excluded, just as it quickly reduces things to rubbish. If only we can try to save what we can and let not things go to waste, there will be more needy people who will benefit with the surplus of our supplies, because if the supply of basic commodities in the market remain high, demand will be low, and so prices will remain low. More people will be able to buy what they need with the money they have. Number 5. Critical thinking amidst chaos and disorder. In these very trying and hard times, it is quite easy to let our guards down and be savages, to kill for survival, to revolt, and even to lose our common sense. Yet the call is very much the same according to Laudato Si, that we have to rise beyond our evil ways and bask in the graciousness of God. We have to clear our minds of the clutter brought about by biases and prejudices of the past. Wolfgang Sachs rightly observes that in Laudato Si, there is a deep calling to push back what he calls economic hegemony and for a more ethical responsibility on all levels. As a conclusion, I would like to suggest the meaningful song Pilgrim's Theme from Bukas Palad Music Ministry, a Catholic contemporary worship musical group in the Philippines, as a good jumping board for introducing Laudato Si in one's undergraduate classes in theology and philosophy. Take, for example, discussions on creation in the Bible, stewardship, lessons in environmental ethics, and even critical and creative thinking, with how it emphasizes listening to the voice within and how we are to find our place in the great scheme of things. Everything has a place in the great plan of the Creator. That is why we should try our best to follow the set national and international laws, which is for the common good, coupled with the requirements of justice and charity. Definitely, there's much room for creativity and innovation, insofar as this freedom is meant to choose the one true good and the beautiful. Indeed, the whole of creation should be taken care for. We may fight animal cruelty, but we may be silent about the life of the unborn. We may uphold the cleanliness of our own backyards, but we dump trash on our neighbor's lawn. We have to instill this in our students that a truly loving and caring person is one who is concerned of those who are unlovable, or even the modern untouchables, COVID-19 patients. Ecological education is and should always be aimed at imbibing ecological citizenship. We have to try to incorporate the highlighted themes that will lead to a new way of seeing and living our lives today. Welcome to the new normal. We have to facilitate the opening of the consciousness of our students to read not just the news, but to know what is happening in the world, both politically and ecologically. Think globally and not just fight for our nation's interests, but the interests of the global community. This is a very radical way of looking at the way we see ourselves, because it means that we have to let go not just of egocentrism, but even ethnocentrism, and live as members of one human family. This is, after all, what is ecological education according to Laudato Si. Thank you for listening.